Good afternoon, Mr. President and members of the Court. It is an honor to appear before you today on behalf of the Oriental Republic of Uruguay, marking Uruguay's first time appearing before this court advisory proceedings. Honorable members of the Court, the matter before you today concerns one of the most pressing challenges of our time, which potentially can gravely impact the well-being of present and future generations of humankind and life in the planet as we know it. Scientific consensus confirms that anthropogenic greenhouse gas emissions are the dominant cause of global warming and climate change. This is no longer a threat for the future, but a reality that we face today. The climate crisis has already inflicted severe damage on ecosystems and societies across the world, and unless urgent measures are adopted, territories and cultures will disappear forever. As a representative of Uruguay, it is my duty to express our growing distress for our territory and our current and future citizens. Uruguay is a coastal nation, which economy relies heavily on agriculture. For this reason, among others, Uruguay is concerned about the severe impacts that climate change threatens to impose on its territory and population. A future of intensified floods, droughts, sea level rise, and biodiversity loss would not only irreparably alter our country's green and fertile landscape, but also endanger the lives, homes, and livelihoods of the vast population living in flood-prone and coastal areas. Additionally, climate change jeopardizes our economy, which depends significantly on agricultural production and tourism, sectors that are highly climate sensitive. Confronted with this alarming reality, it is now more urgent than ever for states to adopt effective and immediate measures in a joint effort to mitigate its human and material costs to adapt it to this new climate reality. For these efforts to be meaningful, the international community must act now, for ourselves and for the generations yet unborn. Conscious of this reality, and despite Uruguay's negligible contribution to global greenhouse emissions, we implemented ambitious climate policies. Transcending political divides, Uruguay has been a pioneer in adopting both mitigation and adaptation measures to ensure climate actions remains a national priority. An example of this is Uruguay transformative energy transition, which has been a resounding success. Today, over 90% of our electricity is generated from renewable sources, making us self-sufficient in renewable energy and enable us to export surplus energy to neighboring countries. As a further step towards carbon neutrality, Uruguay is currently setting the foundations for an ambitious second energy transition, which will seek to decarbonize key economic sectors such as transport and industry. As another example that gives us hope for the future, we have adopted a success national policy to protect and foster Uruguay's native forests, which have continuously grown over the past decades and implemented sustainable deforestation practices. Uruguay has also innovated in the field of green finance, having recently issued a sovereign sustainability-linked bond, which was the first of its kind globally. This financial instrument ties the interest rates to the achievement of sustainability targets, thus aligning Uruguay's financial mechanism with its commitment to climate goals. As a member of the younger generation of Uruguayans in leadership roles, we are committed to continue these efforts to build the future that we want for ourselves and our children. However, Uruguay's ability to enhance and expand its climate action is constrained by multiple financial, scientific, and technical limitations. As it has consistently emphasized in the international fora, Uruguay, like many other developing nations, relies on the support of the international community to advance its environmental and sustainability goals. Financial, technical, and technological assistance is indispensable to enable us to implement climate action. The assistance received by developing states is certainly not enough. Indeed, we expected more from the COP29 resolutions. We are counting on the leading economies of the world to redouble their commitment to the global fight against climate change and fulfill their promises. As my colleagues will elaborate, states have obligations under international law to protect the climate system and environment. The breach of these obligations, which have disastrous effects on the environment, livelihoods, and people, has legal consequences which must be enforced. Uruguay firmly believes that the Court's advisory opinion will strengthen the international rule of law, hold states accountable for their international obligations, and pave the way for more sustainable and livable conditions for our generations and for those yet to come. Thank you for your attention.